why do we not do enough justice to psych safety without attaching the word trauma to it or connecting the word trauma to it?
So the working definition of trauma we use is any event or experience that leads to constriction, restriction, or disconnection from yourself, from other people, or from the world.
Right.
And so when we think about psychological safety, this ability to take risks and bring our full self to the table, if I don't understand that people are walking into my space with a massive collection of experiences that they've had up until just before they walked into this space, and I asked them to trust me, and I asked them to be vulnerable with me, and I asked them to, speak up and take risks and say what they want to say, that is actually a really invalidating way of going about things. And I say that because, and I want to be so clear, I don't believe that people are intentionally invalidating anybody.
I'm with you.
Collectively, what we are saying is, I need you to drop your experiences at the door and pretend like none of that's happened and just trust me. And that, I don't know about you, I can't do that.
Well, I can't do that. I didn't know that I couldn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
And because I didn't know that I couldn't do that, I'd felt that there was something wrong with me or that I wasn't good enough.
Which is re-traumatizing.
Exactly. But I didn't even know what the hell that word meant, trauma.
Yeah.
I was like, that's not me. I'm fine. Like, I haven't had a big natural disaster or, like I just had, anyway, I love the way that you've described that.
When we talk about psychological safety, we talk about how in order to have that, you need to have the four core areas of trust established. And so that's going to take time. And what most people do when they're trying to get people to trust them, when they're trying to foster trust, is they do the cognitive side of trust, which is, hey, you can trust me because I'm capable, and you can trust me because I'm consistent.
Yep.
And then we do this thing where, and I'm glad you talked about like the mind versus the body, where we intellectualize the affective side of the trust. And we're like, look, we're going to be honest with you. We're a family, we're going to care about you. We're going to support you. And so often in the first moments of vulnerability in a space, that doesn't hold up.
No. Well, but it's total BS. We're not family. We are not a family at work.
Yeah.
Like, it drives me nuts when those two things get intermingled.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think it's disrespectful almost. It's ignorant and disrespectful. Naive, not ignorant, naive.
It is. I understand the sentiment. I understand the intent behind it. And the other thing is some people, family is not a happy experience.
Exactly.
So the idea that you're saying, hey, we're a family, they're like, cool. So we scream at each other and we neglect each other and we hurt each other. So this idea, like the idea is, well, I'm trying to establish effective trust. You want to know how you establish effective trust? You're in your own body feeling your feelings. And as someone is sharing how they feel, you are experiencing that. You are witnessing them in it. You are being attentional and intentional. And that requires vulnerability. And vulnerability, and not just, compassion or empathy, like deep, this person just said something that's really heartbreaking. And I'm feeling that in my chest. And I'm talking to them going, wow, I feel so sad you're going through that.
Right.
One of the top hesitancies I hear from leaders is, well, I don't have the time for that. And when we really get into it, I'm like, look, you don't not have the time for that. There's a double negative, but like, you only have time for that.
Yeah. Do you know what I hear when leaders say that? Where I go is, I think the subtle narrative under that is, I don't have time for my own feelings.
Yep.
And I can't, if I don't have time for that, then I sure as hell can't make it for other people.
Right.
I don't know if they know they're saying that, but that's in essence what's happening, I think.
I'm curious how you feel about this statement, like if this resonates with you, and I'm curious if it resonates for the people listening. Something for me was I would feel frustration when people would come to me with like issues, or I'm thinking about the students who would be like, oh, this thing's happening, and I would get frustrated. And underneath of that, I realized I was feeling resentment. And that resentment was coming from, this person's allowed to come to me and tell me they have a need and expect accommodation, expect help, all of these things. Who the heck can I go to for that?